Hey, welcome to Snoob Reviews, and let's check out Chapter 10 of One Piece, The Incident at the Tavern. So yeah, we're gonna check in with Nami and Luffy and find out what's going on with Zoro now that he's landed on the island, and see where things take off. Since last time on the chapter, we were left with Luffy caged on Buggy's ship, Buggy and Nami now partners, and they're throwing a party, and yeah, Zoro's just arrived on the island. Yeah, so here's the cover page. It's Nami walking with a pig. For some reason, I always think it's a mustache with the bandana wrapped around the pig's face. Cracks me up. Oh, nice. I got my headset on still. Don't really need that. But yeah, she's carrying a pig, and she got this flag that's, got pirates crossed out since she hates pirates. And she's stealing their treasure. And they look like they're in some desert island, and seems to have a great time with the pig. But cool, we'll be transferring on to the actual chapter. Let's jump right into it. But yeah, so it's a panel that's talking about the map of the Grand Line and how Buggy's got it back again, and he's all excited. He's like, "We're gonna throw a party." He's like, "We're gonna be able to go to the Grand Line." He's super stoked. His dreams were falling apart last chapter. All of his plans and hard work for the past couple years seemed to be out the door when Nami showed up, and now she's being praised kind of as the hero. And so yeah, Buggy's like, "Raise a glass, toast to our newfound friend and to the conquest that lies ahead." And yeah, they just start having a hoopla, big ass party, and they're all dancing around doing very eccentric party things. Got one guy getting beer poured onto an upside down beer mug into a guy's mouth, doing a handstand. Guys on unicycles and beach balls, and yeah, no, they're just all goofing off. Buggy knows how to throw a party, a flashy one at that. And so, Nami's in the mix, and Buggy's like making sure she's having a great time, making sure she's knocking back the beers. And Nami knows how to drink. Nami knows how to hold her own alcohol, and can now drink most people she's fitted against, even Zoro, which we'll see. And so, yeah, they're having these drinking contests, and Nami's just slaying it. And she goes on to say, nobody can outdrink me, they'll all pass out soon. And she plans on taking the treasure once they're all passed out and peacing out. She kind of just treats them like regular old pirates, which they're not quite. They're still early on, but they're not gonna just let that slip up happen. There's a few more things that happen, and things they hold Nami accountable for, as we'll see in this chapter. But yeah, Luffy is not stoked about his situation right now. Luffy just pretty much trusts everyone he talks to. Not the best way to go through the world, but also, he's made a lot of great friends and people who really do trust him because of, his behavior, how honest he is, and how upfront. He takes everyone for their word, and when their word is false, it really upsets him. He doesn't see the point in lying, and he's jealous. So he's sitting here and he's watching them. He's like, "That's what pirates are supposed to do, have parties and have fun." He's like, "They look like they're having so much fun." But yeah, and Nami comes over to him, just kind of, "How you doing, boss?" And Luffy's like, "Let me out of here. I'm friggin' hungry, dude. You guys are eating food and partying. This isn't fair." And Nami gives him some food, and Luffy's like, "Oh, you're not so bad. Maybe I'll let you join my crew after all." He's just like back onto it. It's just not getting through to Luffy. People don't just immediately want to join his crew, and he doesn't get that. But Nami's just kind of like, "You don't even realize what's gonna happen to you, do you? They'll probably sell you off somewhere." And so yeah, they're holding Luffy hostage, but they don't really think he's worth anything. They may, torture him or try and kill him, but really, to Nami, her understanding is they'll just probably sell him to try and make money off him. But she goes on to say, "Hey, if my plan works and, I manage to get the key to the cage, you're not too bad for a pirate. I'll probably try and let you go." Luffy's like, "Let me out now, okay?" He's just done with the being in a cage thing. But he's not really in a place to do anything. So other than gnawing on the bars, he's just gonna be stuck there. And Buggy kind of walks up and he's laughing at it and saying, "You picked the wrong partner here." and that he kind of screwed the pooch on this one. You know, I'm the better option for Nami. And he doesn't see that he's getting played. He doesn't really acknowledge it at all. And Luffy's just kind of like, partner, she's not my partner. And Buggy's like, yeah, not anymore. Can't blame you. She betrayed you after all. And he thinks that Luffy's like saying she's not his partner anymore. He doesn't want to be associated with it. Luffy doesn't even know where this partnership's coming from. He literally landed on the island in between Nami and a couple other pirates, and they touched his hat and he beat the shit out of them. But to him, they were never even associated. She just played him, and Luffy's just too dense to see through that right now. And so Buggy's telling him, he's like, the punishment for stealing my stuff is, I've already decided it, so it's going to be pretty severe. And Luffy's like, oh, you're going to let me go? He's like, and Buggy's like, yeah, that's right, I'm going to let you. He's like, what? Of course I'm not going to let you go. Buggy's one of the few characters that falls into Luffy's stupid tropes because he's just, it always catches him off guard. He doesn't expect Luffy to be so dense. But yeah, so they're just like, you know what? We're going to show him how we're going to punish him. Buggy just yells, load up the buggy balls, and the crew just starts freaking out. And we've kind of seen them use the buggy balls a little bit. They shoot the bird out of the sky and it drops Luffy. I don't know if that's a buggy ball. That might just be a normal cannon. But the buggy ball is a quite impactful explosion, very flashy. And Buggy wants to show it off for everyone. So he points it at the town, and he's got the cannon load, and everyone's kind of panicking. And Buggy's just smiling, He's like, hell yes, this is going to be awesome. And yes, indeed, it is awesome. Buggy just blows. Literally, all the buildings tilt off the ground. They just literally, the flat surfaces just separate from the earth and just blows them all apart. The power coming from the buggy ball is somewhat similar to a nuclear bomb. And it just devastates. Most of the time. No, it's not literally a nuclear bomb, but like some hellfire strikes or something like that. Like literally just bombards, blows like half the town down. He's just talking about how strong it is. He's like, breathtaking. That would have leveled a smaller town. And he's like, with these buggy balls, he's got the special power from that. And then he's also got his devil fruit power that he thinks he can just take over the Grand Line, that nobody will be able to oppose him. Oh, Buggy. I'm not. Your buggy balls are nothing. And we'll get back to that in about 400 chapters or so. But yeah. No, Buggy overestimates his power a bunch early on, and then later on he's just kind of a sniveling coward, but he knows how to walk the walk and talk the talk. He just doesn't back up the walk. But yeah, they blow down half the town, and Buggy's just going on about how he's going to rule the Grand Line. And so he puts Nami up to play. He's like, hey, Nami, your turn, girlie. It's like, prove your loyalty by blowing your former boss into mincemeat with this buggy ball. Flashily. They don't use it in the Viz media, but Buggy likes to talk about how flashy everything he does is. He likes to be extravagant, flamboyant. He wants people to acknowledge them and see how not explosive, I don't know, just, extravagant they are. Like, literally, he wants people to be impressed by their power and their suave. And, so yeah, he wants Nami to, take the cannon and blow Luffy up with the buggy ball. And, that'll kill Luffy in his situation. He has no way to really escape it, rebound I want to say grenade, cannon. But he's all tied up. He can't do a gum balloon or nothing, so he's kind of just stuck. And Nami's not a killer, Nami just is like, you want me to kill him? And Luffy's just blank face, like. And she just tries to change the topic. She's kind of like, we don't need to do that, Captain Buggy. Hey, let's drink more instead. Forget about this loser. He's no big deal. Nami doesn't want to kill people. To her, it's kind of against her code. she views pirates as murderers and like scoundrels and like thieves and everything else. Like, what's wrong with the world? And she kind of holds herself above that. She'll steal from criminals, pirates, but she's not gonna steal or murder or hurt innocent people. She doesn't even want to kill pirates because she feels like she's stooping to their level. And Buggy's just like, do it. But yeah, I love this panel. You really get to see the detail on Buggy and how devious and evil he can look. He has some cool panels he does with Buggy, Oda does. But yeah, I just wanted to zoom in on this one. Really enjoyed it. But I say but a lot. The crew's all jumping around and like freaking out. They're like, blast him, kill him, you know. And Nami's having doubts. She doesn't want to do this. And Buggy's just got this crazy laugh going. I told you these paddles are awesome. But Luffy's just calm. Like, he's kind of, you know, he's assessing the situation. And he's watching Nami. Because he's still considering her joining his crew, as we've seen. But he wants to see the type of person she is. I mean, if she's willing to kill him over some stuff like this, he may have a respect for her for being decisive in her decision, but he's also calling her out, as we'll see in a minute, for biting off more than she can chew. And, you know, so Luffy's just sitting in the cage staring at her. And Nami's like, what should I do? If I don't kill him, they'll kill me. She's in a tough situation. You know, she has to prove her allegiance to Buggy by killing Luffy. If she doesn't, then she's against Buggy. I mean, this is how their crew's gonna operate. She needs to be able to proceed any way that Buggy would ask upon her. And Nami's weighing the odds. She's kind of like, he's no good pirate. If I murder him in cold blood, then I'll be as bad as a pirate too, though. You know. So she feels like it's beneath her that she's gonna make a decision that's gonna affect her morality, I guess. Like, she has a strong code to what kind of criminal she's willing to be. It's looser as the story progresses. I mean, she tries to blackmail Princess, and she was stoked about the idea of stealing all the gold from Ryugu Kingdom. But hey, Nami early on really is just, she's got the best interest in mind for her country that she wants to buy. You know, she wants to buy that. And she's willing to stick to her code to get to there. But this is the first time she's dealt with having to possibly cross that line to protect her life and justice of that cause. So she's kind of in a weird spot here. And Luffy's just, you know, staring at her. He's got this very intense stare. And Buggy's saying, you know, quit stalling and light the cannon. And Nami's like, oh, it's now or never, you know. And, you know, she's shaking. She just doesn't want to do this. And Luffy just kind of laughs at her, you know. He's about to drop some knowledge on her about, you know, that's what you get for going up against pirates unprepared. And Nami doesn't get what he means. She's like, unprepared? What do you mean? Not being able to kill someone? You know, is that what it means to be prepared is that what it, she's like, is that what prepared means to a pirate? Luffy's like, no. He tells her, you know, it means being able to risk your life, to put your own life on the line. You know, playing with pirates is a dangerous business. You have to be 100%. You have to be okay with dying. You have to understand what you're willing to fight for and what you're willing to do. Right now, she's been caught between two spots. She wants to pretend to be a pirate, take advantage of them, but she doesn't want to cross her moral code to make that work, you know. And so if she's not willing to fight out every situation, then, you know, she's playing in the wrong field. You can't pussyfoot in this stuff. And Luffy's calling her out on it. And that's one thing you like about Luffy, is like, no matter who you are, he could even like you, or he could, you know, he doesn't have a major invested interest in you yet. They'll call you out on your crap. He doesn't want to sit and listen to people, you know, make excuses or, you know, pretend like this was some circumstance they couldn't control. She knew what she was doing by entering this scenario with Buggy and him. And he just finds it hilarious. He's okay with his situation, but she's not with hers. And he's in a worse off situation than her. I mean, can't get more profound than that. And so, yeah, the rest of the crew's like, you know, blast him, do it, finally, come on. And one of the crewmates comes up because they're getting impatient, and he's like, you never light a cannon before, I'll teach you how. And sets things in motion. Now Nami has to make a decision. She has to be decisive here. And I wouldn't say she was as much decisive as she just kind of instincts kicked in and what she felt she needed to do. She busts out her, it's like kind of like a quarter staff, but it's like this tacked together staff. It comes in 3 parts. I don't know how she necessarily screws it. Maybe it just screws on quick in the middle. But she's pretty slick with it, strapped to her thigh. And, the crewmate doesn't even see it coming. He's like, just put the flame to the fuse. It's easy as that, And, oh boy, bud, you didn't see what was coming. Nami just thwack, that dude's out. Just knocks him clean to the ground. And one of the few power moments in Nami. I mean, she fights people and she gets some badass moments. Overall, she doesn't usually engage. First off, it's usually she's forced into the situation, feels obligated by some means. This one was more just natural, but even that, I'd still include it. But early Nami coming in with the beat down, She's a fighter, I guess is how I'll put it. She's a fighter, but she's a fighter who would rather not fight. She knows how to defend herself, but she's afraid and doesn't want to have to put herself in those situations. And yeah, so everyone's standing around shocked, like, oh. Even Luffy's kind of like blown away. He's like, really? I think he may have even put it towards that she would have killed him, or she would, risk her own life. But this kind of strikes a chord with him. And Nami's like, damn, I couldn't even help myself. And Buggy's like, traitor! And after I welcomed you into my crew. And he's just like freaking out. Again, the paddles. He's got the craziest face sometimes. I love Buggy. The Buggy D clown. The greatness that is Buggy. Yeah, he's freaking out. And Luffy's just kind of like, oh, so you're going to save me after all? And Nami's like, don't be stupid. I just got carried away, I just don't want to become a low-life murderer like all of you. And she keeps lumping Luffy into that group, but at this point, she should be seeing how different he is. Luffy has a different mindset as a pirate, what it is to be a pirate and to be strong. And, but she can't admit that, she doesn't want to kill him because so far, he seems like a nice guy. And, what are you gonna do? You made the decision, Nami. Now you gotta back it. And so Nami kind of monologues here. We get a little bit more into her and the issues she deals with pirates. And she's like, you pirates took someone dear to me. I'll never become what I hate. And yeah, so some pirate killed someone close to Nami. And immediately after that, he's sympathizing with her. But immediately after, he's like, the fuse is lit. He's like, oh, Jesus. He's like, I'm going to die. He starts just gnawing at the bar, trying to get out. He's like breaking his teeth trying to get to it, I swear. And then Buggy's like, little girl, you tried to make a fool of me. You're going to die for that. And so he's just pissed and he's ready to retaliate. It's kind of funny. Luffy was the only one that died. Now they're both going to die. But Nami made the right choice because you always bet on Luffy. You learned that early on. You always bet on Luffy. And it may not be in this situation you see it, but you always bet on Luffy. And so, yeah, all of his men go charging at Nami. And Luffy's just like, look out, And Nami's looking back at the fuse like, oh, it's still lit. She's like, got to do something. She doesn't want to be responsible for killing him. She's trying to save him. Even though she didn't light the fuse, she's still trying to save him. And Luffy's just like, shit, man. He's like, I'm going to be blown to bits. And then Nami has to deal with these guys who are charging her. And so she just, as quick as she can, she's like beating them out of the way, trying to bat them out. And then Luffy's going on, I'll never give up. I'll never give in. He's like, I'm going to be Pirate King. And the fuse is like almost gone. And then just in the nick of time, Nami just jumps out. Like she just jumps back and grabs the fuse with her hand. It's just burning her hands, She's like screaming and she's in pain. And Luffy's like, look out behind you, because someone's charging at them, trying to take her out. And bam! Boy Zolo Zoro shows up. Doesn't even unsheath his blade. Just straight up builds a wall. Those clowns just run right into it, get all knocked out. Good clotheslines all around. Two sword style. Lariat. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, Nami doesn't even know yet. She's about to find out while she's just holding this fuse, putting it out for Luffy's sake. And Zoro's like, you hurt, Luffy? He's like, man. Luffy's like, I'm glad you found me, man. Now get me out of here. And everyone else in the background's freaking out. They're like, Zolo, like, Pirate Hunter Zolo? And Zoro's like, always goofing around, Luffy. Like, first you fly off with the bird, and now you're in some cage. He's like, God, man, we've been together for a whole 24 hours, and we've been through the ringer of circumstances. Like, God traveling with you must be the strangest thing. I mean, he's seeing it now, but yeah. Oh, Zoro, if only you knew. The shenanigans that Luffy brings with him. And yeah, so the rest of the Buggy's crew are kind of freaking out about the fact that Zoro's here. Zoro's a renowned name in the East, but Luffy is not. And he's known as, this dangerous pirate hunter. So all pirates are avoiding him. And Nami's still, like, figuring out, oh, this is the crewmate he was talking about. He's like, oh, the pirate hunter. What's going on here? Why does he have such a strong guy with him? This kid just seems like a moron. And that just kind of takes a side note. And we get into Buggy and Zoro standoff. So you got Buggy who walks up. He's trying to be a badass, You're, Roanoa Zoro, huh? You must have come to capture me. And Zoro's just like, I gave up pirate hunting. I have no interest in you. And I think that kind of just a little kicked at Buggy's ego. He thinking the big hotshot bounty hunter of the East Blue's after him. And he's like, well, I'm interested in you. Killing you would be a nice feather in my cap. Buggy wants more acclaim. He wants to be more renowned. He wants people to understand he's powerful and flashy. Flashy again. Zoro just kind of like, back off before I pluck all your feathers. Cool one-liner, man. Just good one-liner. Yeah, Zoro would pluck all Buggy's feathers, but these stages, it's early on. A lot of characters like to drop their guard. They drop their guard very easily around people, as Zoro may do. But yeah, the crew's freaking out, like, come to pieces. And Buggy's like, give me all you've got, pirate hunter, because I'm about to get a look at your blood. And Zoro's like, you asked for it. Dude, don't want to mess with me. I'm going to be the best swordsman. Everyone's got their ambition. Buggy just wants to be not even a great pirate. He just wants to be a rich, flashy pirate. And so Zoro just thinks he's got this in the bag, And so he just cuts down Buggy, chops his leg off, chops his stomach off. He chops the top section of his body. There's 3 cuts. It seems like his whole right-hand side just gets kind of chopped in different sections. Legs, arm, and his waist. So Buggy just kind of like, and like floating back, falling. Everyone's sitting shocked. Luffy and Nami are just blown away. They're like, holy crap, did he just really take out their captain in one go? Luffy's like, hey, that was too easy. And you see their crew kind of chuckling in the background. Yeah, that concludes Chapter 10 of One Piece, Incident at the Tavern. Yeah, so we'll get back to some stuff next chapter review. I was going to say next week, but it's not going to be next week. I took some time off doing streaming and stuff this week. Just was feeling more into that right now. Try and stay more consistent on the YouTube videos, but it does take a lot more time and effort. Sometimes when I get off work, it's just easier for me to go and pop on my stream and hang out for a couple hours than it is to invest, 5 hours into 30 minutes of footage or something like that. But I do enjoy doing the YouTube a lot more, and I also really love One Piece and would like to talk about it more. We're going to try and stay consistent with that. But yeah, we'll be coming back, figuring out why Buggy's crew's laughing, and what's in store for Zoro, Nami, and Luffy, and how this predicament's going to play out on Orange Town, or Port Town, however you want to call it. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and this was a Snoop Reviews of Chapter 10. Thanks, guys.